Hey, true believers, Englentine here. Now, this is video 2. This is part 2 of the GABBY Awards. This deals with the worst crossover or event, the worst comic book moment, and the character or creator who has overstayed their welcome. I decided we're going to cut these into little bite-sized pieces to make it more palatable for those who don't want to listen to a 2-hour broadcast. So sit back and enjoy. Worst crossover event, the nominees are the Milk Wars from DC with the Young Animals and the Justice League, Avengers No Surrender, Infinity Countdown, Venom Inc., and Phoenix Resurrection. And the winner is a tie. Yeah, we actually had a tie here. It was between Avengers No Surrender and Infinity Countdown. And I got to tell you, I voted for Infinity Countdown. Which one did you vote for, Dalton?
I voted for No Surrender.
No Surrender? No Surrender also? Yeah, yes, I can't think of a more useless crossover. Does anybody know that Infinity Countdown's going on right now?
See, this was my rationale for not picking Infinity Countdown. It was a toss-up between those for me, but everyone knows that Infinity Countdown only exists because movie exists.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I can't really fault it for that. So I went.
That's why you went with. Donna Troy's
that actually had potential to be good and simply wasn't. Which was the
right,
well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Donna says she kind of liked it.
Well, that's cool. You know, I never take anything. Man, if you like something better than I do, by all means, enjoy. But I think she's talking about the Milk Wars because she was asking, were the Milk Wars that bad? I thought that the first issue and the last issue was excellent. They had these tie-ins as it went. The Batman was okay. The Wonder Woman sucked. And that was a big problem with it. There was just such a dip in quality everywhere.
I was kind of interested in it, to be honest, especially Milkman, since apparently he was like born from two lesbians kissing or something like that.
That issue was actually pretty good. The first one is pretty good.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to take a look at it. Like, that sounds pretty hilarious, actually.
And I do agree with Tellium29, who's saying Marvel events are fatiguing in comics. They run on so long.
They occur so often with the mini events too.
Oh, well, yeah, because right now it's like, what, you got Infinity Darkhawk, Infinity Black Widow, Infinity Champions, and everybody's in it, and it ties in so little to it.
And then there's the Logan, and then there's the Wolverine shit, like the return of Wolverine, which is coming after a slew of mini series and shit, or mini events.
It wouldn't be so bad if they weren't all so repetitive and cyclical. Like, it seems like the entire universe itself is like stuck on a skipping record loop. It's just like, oh, that event that happened 20 years ago, it's happening again.
We're having a civil war again. We're having Infinity Cross. Yeah.
It feels like at this point they're just recycling ideas. Without and I mean, I guess they figure that, like, at this point there's so much for them to draw on, they'll just recycle ideas from however many years ago.
Yeah, and this is why Tillium says it's why he only buys Marvel trade paperbacks of older stories. Can't fault it. Isn't that how America Chavez was born, by two lesbians kissing? Marvel is now set in a universe where Sotomayor universe and pregnant battle-ready Nova Corps exist. That is true. That is Marvel.
You know, that was actually a hard one for me to do.
Well,
that was a hard decision. Like,
and Wolverine with hot claws, says James Hayes.
This category is they don't have to go home, but they can stay here. People and or characters who have overstayed their welcome.
Ooh, and I'll do the next one after this one. Yes.
And the nominees are Carol Danvers. For the love of God, Marvel, stop trying to make her your flagship character. It's not going to be a thing. It's like Fetch. The second nominee is the person who we all want to throw out of an airlock into an airless vacuum of space, Mark Waid. Third, in this category, we have the Merc with the mouth that you honestly wish would just duct tape it closed sometimes, although they tried that once already, Deadpool. The spousal abuse victim who you really wish would get slapped until she couldn't speak anymore, Harley Quinn. Have possibly the most grim and overblown character in all of comics, the king of he could win if only he had more preparation time, the Batman himself. The winner is Mark Waid yet again. You are the worst.
The overstayed their welcome, and my gosh, how I'm feeling that way. Have you guys tried to read the new Captain America storyline?
It's awful. I was somewhat interested. Like I thought it would bomb mostly because they were doing the whole thing with Rampart. Like it was basically just white nationalist Hydra at that point. Yeah. So I didn't think it. I didn't think it would really. I thought it would just suck because at least with Hydra, you can kind of argue that they're not always Nazis. Like there's a little bit of vagueness there that you can do things with, but not with Rampart. They are literally just white nationalists in really stupid armor.
Now it's a storyline where it's not even Captain America; it's in the future, and it's his son.
Yeah,
and it's so horrible.
Trump nuked all of the superheroes in 24 hours.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Never mind all the heroes that could survive a nuke like it was nothing.
And then he took over the world, and everyone apparently was irradiated. And then they called him King Baby because that's a relevant and funny fucking joke. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's a relevant and
that was the story. That was the last story. That was the story before the one that's going on now. And I'll tell you, the one that's going on now, I can't do anymore. I stopped.
I don't understand this current story. So Red Skull is the villain, but then the Kree, I don't get it. Like he's apparently the cube now.
It's bad. It's just bad. Madanui, this was for people or characters who have overstayed the welcome. Tillium is saying he does reviews on his website. If you could spell it out, that would be kind of cool. So I could say it for you. He thinks he is, but he's not. It has character. It is character person. Are you saying that Dan Slott is a xenomorph? I'm saying he's eaten quite a few. I hope Wade's acceptance speeches are better than his comic book writing. Let's see. Real Captain England clearly Ta-Nehisi Coates proves that minorities can't write white characters in. Well, in all honesty, and I've said this before, Marvel's attitude is that Ta-Nehisi Coates, because he is black, can write Black Panther. Therefore, because he's black, therefore he will not be able to write Captain America as well as a white person.
The thing about Ta-Nehisi Coates is that he's not even really a fiction writer. That's why so much of his stories are just boring.
Yeah,
because he's not really a fiction writer. He's a non-fiction writer, and he writes about basically biographies about shit, like in essays about things like white supremacy or whatever. Like this is the person you want to write for your exciting superhero comic.
He's permanently stuck on Cambridge lecture mode, just constantly.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's basically giving. Yeah, he seems to be trying to translate his lectures into comic book stories.
He's from an alternate universe where literally everyone is Ben Stein. Or some
my
shit.
God, that's hilarious.
Honestly.
All right. Now, I know you got excited. I'm going to take this one because I'm looking for a certain order. So I got the last guy, but I'll take this one. You take worst SJW. Okay. Let's go to the comments one more time here. Boom. What are we seeing? It's called the Rainbow Press, Red Skull, and the Krees. Well, it's just a bad Captain America. It's on War Press. Okay, here we go. Tillium's it's on WordPress, and Okay, well, we'll get it to you. I would love to give you a little shout out there, my friend. Let's see. James Hayes saying Mark Waid is a Marvel character now. He projects himself and his politics on the page rather than writing the characters. You hear it in every review. Waid, not Captain America, thinks. And I agree with you. And I think that's part of the Marvel's problems these days. It's all message before story. That's the worst part. That's when you get a bad comic book.
And it might actually work if the messages ever fluctuated to pertain to the things that they're supposed to be talking about, as opposed to the, how do I cram this particular ideology and this particular lens into every situation whatsoever, never mind if it actually relates to anything.
Well, yeah, it's you really see it like in the Dazzler one-shot that just came out, where it's message over. That's not a Dazzler story. You could put anybody in there. It's a Mags Visaggio story.
Yeah, it's about her coming out again and again and again and again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like we were just talking about. Everyone at Marvel and everyone in the industry, barring the few Mavericks, are stuck in this like 1992 time loop where everything that has happened for the last 20 years hasn't happened, and they have to still fight for it.
You think it's all the way back to 92, or I would go all the way back to 62.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But this is the thing, and I mentioned this before. I think they're stuck in whatever decade is the least convenient for whatever minority they happen to be talking about. So,
well, that's true. Yeah. So for
that's why Englentine won't let me drink it on on his water fountains. Shit. That's why I can't drink at his water fountains.
The lens of women is still stuck back in the 1890s. The lens of black people is still stuck in like 1952. Yeah. The lens of gay people is still stuck in 1982, and the lens of transgenderism hasn't even become a thing yet because we're still stuck back in like.
I agree. The next one we have, the next category is worst comic book moments, and the nominees are a pregnant Nova Corps leader on the battlefield, X-Men Red hire a mutant after she tanks the country of India's economy due to the gender pay gap, Iceman flirts and then makes out with a guy at his friend's wake, the Black Widow at the time. Doctor Strange is, for some reason, dumb enough to resurrect Vegas and raise hell. And, of course, it tastes like mustard and bigotry. A lot of fun. Those are some really horrible moments. And the winner is a pregnant Nova Corps leader on the battlefield. This was horrible, gang. It's just so bad. And
you know what was hard for me?
What?
Between that and this hot dog taste of mustard.
It's a mustard and bigotry. Yeah, it's just god awful. The way the voting went, Doctor Strange resurrects Vegas and Hell got 1. Congratulations, Dalton. Then mustard and bigotry. And then Iceman flirts at a wake. Then the gender pay gap. And then it was the pregnant Nova Corps. But holy crap, Marvel. That's Marvel. Nothing else. That's all Marvel. Marvel is sucking so bad. I want to say good things, but cannot. There's just nothing good to say anymore. There's a pregnant. Who the fuck thought it would be? And I didn't say the word. I don't know if that will show it, but who really thought that would be a good idea to draw a pregnant woman? Are you trying to say that we should put pregnant women on the battlefield? That we're so equal that pregnant women should be at war?
I think it's it's a female empowerment message, I think.
But it's not even like I'm 2 months pregnant. The second issue begins with her giving birth.
Yeah, and even the bad guy's like, "You're pregnant." She's like, "How? You're observant," and then she shoots him.
Yes, that was nominated also later.
I think Corrupt and I mentioned this way back when this happened. I think it might have been on Elijah's stream, but like does this baby have powers of its own? Is it like Wyatt from Charmed and like it makes her invulnerable or some shit? Because that would actually make some kind of sense, but I don't think that was ever established in the comic.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's part 2 of the GABBY Awards. We had overstayed their welcome. We had the worst comic book event or crossover, and of course, the worst moment in comics. Good times had by all. I think the winners were deserved of the win. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, if you like the video, click like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And this is the way we're trying to make a living, so if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Patreon, drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on and helps keep making videos for you. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.